When Bitcoin first appeared back in 2009, it looked like a bit of a passing fad. There's a legendary early transaction in which a person reportedly spent, I think, around 10,000 Bitcoins in order to purchase 2 pizzas. Fast forward to today, and Bitcoin is worth around £34,000. So if we look at the going dominoes rate, I think a pizza is worth about £24, and that assumes that you don't use any vouchers. 1 Bitcoin would allow you to purchase 1,416 Domino's pizzas. So it's clear that things have changed considerably. It's also clear that in one form or another, digital assets are here to stay. So what is a cryptocurrency? Well, there are a ton of ways to answer that question. You could start with the basic details, or you could get stuck into the technical points. A lot of explanations start with a definition and then try to break it down, but I think there are 2 issues with that. First, the definition doesn't mean anything to you at the outset. And second, it's not an intuitive way of understanding crypto. Yes, you understand the technical points, but you don't really understand the why. My way of explaining it is to imagine a fight between 2 candidate coins, both of which aspire to be a cryptocurrency. So out of the blue corner, we have the unimaginatively named blue coin, and out of the red corner, we have red coin. So like any Fight Club, we need to lay down some rules.
The first rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club.
Now we've already broken those rules, and we need to therefore come up with our own. So the first rule is, you do not double spend your own coin. The second rule is, you do not double spend your own coin. The third rule is, you do not spend someone else's coin. And the fourth rule is, you do not trust anyone, because trust is weakness. There's no need to delay any further. Let's get ready to rumble. So the first candidate is Bluecoin. So imagine a scenario where you have a group of people who want to use Bluecoin to transact with each other. Now the first problem arises because digital assets are very different to physical currency. If I have a £5 note and I spend it, well, I've handed it over to someone else, so I can't spend it again. But a digital asset can be copied. So what A might do is use their Bluecoin to purchase something from B, but copy that same Bluecoin and try to purchase something from C as well. The solution to that is relatively straightforward. You just create a ledger, and let's say we give that ledger to E. So the ledger keeps a record of all the transactions, and you can see that A has now spent his Bluecoin. But we run into another problem now, because what if E is fraudulent or makes a mistake with that ledger? Or what if E is hacked? And that is known as the problem of centralization. Basically, E becomes a single point of failure for the system, and as you'll recall, rule 4 is you do not trust anyone, trust is weakness. We've trusted E too much, and we've therefore breached rule 4, and Bluecoin is disqualified. So the next candidate is Redcoin. We've got the same scenario, but how do we deal with the problem of double spending whilst at the same time not falling into the centralization trap? The solution to that is to give everyone a copy of the ledger. So now, if one person unilaterally changes the ledger to insert, let's say, a fraudulent transaction, that copy of the ledger won't match everyone else's copy of the ledger, and so that person will be revealed to be a fraud. But now we run into yet another problem. We've got a static ledger. If no one person can be trusted to update the ledger, then how do we allow for new transactions to take place? The solution here is, well, let's play a game. Not that kind of game. This game is called mining. So A, B, and E volunteer to participate in this game. And every 10 minutes, they gather all of the transactions that have taken place within that period, and they then volunteer to update the ledger. They are then presented with a complicated mathematical problem. And the first one of them to solve that problem gets the right to update the ledger for the last 10 minutes of transactions, and the game repeats every 10 minutes. So what that does is no single person is trusted to update the ledger because it could be any one of them each time the game resets. So we're never reliant on one single person, and any number of people can participate in that game. But what's the incentive? Well, the winner doesn't only get the right to update the ledger, they also get awarded new red coins as an incentive. But we've got one final problem. If you recall rule 3, you do not spend someone else's coin. We need a secure system. Now crypto does this through something called cryptographic authentication. So if I own a red coin, what I actually have is a private key to that red coin. Private key is like a password, so only I know it. But that private key is linked to something else, which is known as a public address, and everyone can see that public address. So if someone wants to send me red coin, what they do is they send it to that public address, and then I, as the only person who has the private key linked to that address, and the only person who is able to access and spend the red coin associated with that address. So the winner is Redcoin. Now in this video I've explained Bitcoin, but the technology has developed a lot since 2009, and there are a whole host of other cryptocurrencies as well as other technologies. Think stablecoins, NFTs, smart contracts, etc. But those are for another video. If you want to see more stuff like this, then please do follow me on LinkedIn or subscribe on YouTube. Otherwise, thanks very much for watching.